Hey there everyone, Spartan 412 here. As you can tell by my channel recently, I have been getting more into, Nerf in general, whether it's gameplay or modifications. And I thought that as a little primer to everything that might be going on in the future, I might as well show you guys one of the more simpler mods that I've done. This right here, Talon Strike. Let me get it in focus. I'm still learning how to do a headset setup, so I could use my phone as a little dashboard. But yeah, the Talon Strike, it's dog goes everywhere. I can hear them. Yeah, it's a basic single shot pistol, really. It's pretty recent. I mean, if you live in America and if you know Ross stores, you'll be finding these guys everywhere on those shelves for $7. It comes with a little orange target. However, I'm more focused on the blaster, because although in its stock form it's a pretty good pistol, it shoots better than a Jolt or even a Firestrike of the olden times. It does have a top prime action rather than a T-pull. As you can hear by that pop, this one is a lot more stronger than your typical Talon Strike that you would find on store shelves. That's because I did modify it. I added, well, I'll show you through the video, but in a nutshell, I've removed the dart post inside, as well as the air restrictor prongs, or I guess they are air restrictor prongs, I'm not sure what it does, and coiled in a rough cut spring. Now, for any of you who are new to Nerf and don't know the rough cut, it's this glorious little shotgun here. I've modified mine with 7 kilogram springs and metal gears and just replaced the grip for aesthetics, but yeah, that's the rough cut. It's a beautiful powerhouse double barrel, well, multiple double barrel shotgun, really. So yeah, it turns out the dimensions for the spring in that tube are the exact same size and down to the width and length of the Talon Strike stock spring. So by coiling those together, by intertwining them, as I'll show you when I open this guy up, it will double the power of the blaster. And yes, I do have recorded range footage. I don't have a chronograph, so I don't know the FPS, but I do know the ranges, in which you'll see outside it will be getting around, 55, 60 foot ranges. And that's like shooting flat or with a minimal arch. If I were to actually arch my shots, as you'll see in the footage, it would go beyond my own property. So, but that'll be later on. Right now though, I want to show you guys what's inside the blaster. I'm going to speed this section up. There is a hidden spring, just a little excerpt. It'll be, or hidden screw, it'll be under here. I've got a tougher prime, so it's tougher to get to, but for you guys with a stock Talon Strike, it'll be easy. And I believe it's this screw, there we are. Alright, getting into here, when you buy it off raw shelves, the plastic pieces will basically have non-existent levels of silicone grease or any sort of lubricant in general. Make sure you add that on whenever it comes to any sort of spring or mechanical upgrades where pieces have to slide into each other. Otherwise, your pieces, just like a car without oil, will be rubbing together hard. Things will crack, things will break, it will be catastrophic. So make sure you get silicone grease. I could link that stuff in the description for this video. Yes, make sure you have that to be able to lubricate, the trigger, so that it could easily slide, the catch mechanism, the plunger head inside as well, so that it could slide in and out of the cylinder with ease. So yeah, those important aspects in order to extend the lifetime of your modified blaster. But I want to show you guys what I've done. The primary part that you'll be focusing on when modding this after opening it up will be this assembly here, along with the plunger rod. Let me just remove this guy. And well, this guy is basically easy. If you want to reattach it, there's a little, like insert that will connect to this peg down here. This little peg right here will slide into this, so it goes in upside down, and it'll be rather simple. But as you can see here with the spring, it is actually double coiled. One coil, one spring is actually the default spring that this guy comes with when you buy it off of store shelves. The second spring, as I said, it's my rough cut shotgun spring. It's a spare one that I had from the modification for that guy. I intertwine them together. You don't have to perfectly coil them. You know, as you could see on the back end here, it is a bit tilted upwards. But with the plunger rod being this thick and like having this much of a sturdy frame and the tooth on the end, the up lip, it will combine rather smoothly. The O-ring and everything here is stock. You could do, you know, certain plunger, you know, electric tape modification to it. But for now, I'm fine with as is. Let me just set this off to the side. This is, of course, the plunger head, the plunger space, you know, the airway where things go in. I know you could remove that air restrictor part, but I don't have, you know, the Dremel for a precise cut, because if you break off too much of that plastic piece inside, you could run the risk of having like a dart when you load it in, accidentally fall into the plunger tube and, you know, get fired forward but get stuck inside the tube, so it would crush up and cause a very bad jam. But yeah, what you want to do here, as I said, step 1, double coil your spring if you have a rough cut spring. If you don't, you know, Goodwill or any thrift shop, you're bound to find a classic rough cut there. Break it open if it's not working or if it's not for you. Rough cut's a good shotgun, but it's better modified than stock in some cases. But if you want a powerful sniper pistol like I'm showing you in this video, you know, you take away one of the springs, you coil it up in here. You could try and coil both of them in this spring. I wouldn't recommend it. I haven't tried it. Who knows? But I mean, one spring and then the Talon Strike spring will do the job. Here, in order to remove the dart post and the prongs and spring that were inside of here, it's essentially 2 clips that are holding it shut right here on either side. What you want to do there is essentially, you know, either with a flathead screwdriver, or right now I purposely let my nails grow so I could do this easier. You know, clip off one side and then use the momentum clip off the other. There we go. Came off. I know it's not the best camera angle. I'm working, you know, I'm still trying to get used to this whole GoPro camera head mount setup. Probably have a tripod overhead in the future, but for now, yeah, there's not much I can do. But there you go. Once that this is removed, this is essentially the barrel. You can replace with a brass barrel if you want. I don't have a Dremel or any brass to work with at the moment, so I just left it stock. The very back part is where the dart will actually grip into, whether it's a full length or a half length. And this right here, as you could see by this little white plus sign, the dart post has been removed, and underneath here, this thing actually pops off rather easily. That is where, grab them. Nope, never mind. I just lost the spring. It flew off. But yeah, that weak spring that I showed you earlier would be in here, and then this guy would be inside as well. And essentially, what this did was, I guess, just sturdy up the frame. But yeah, it would line up like that. It'd be sticking out like that when you'd get it stock. So yeah, it's easy. It's as easy as removing it as getting it out like that and removing the spring and the prongs. No need to cut any more of that. Once that's done, you attach it on. Make sure that the pegs on either side here do not line up with the clip holders right here, or else, for obvious reasons, you won't be able to clip it again. So yeah, you just realign it like that. You could break off the dart post with your hand. You know, you don't need a cutter or anything. You just pull it off to the side and it snaps off. And that's when you bring this guy on. You clip it back together, whether it's in the stock barrel form or whether it's a brass barrel replacement. Reapplying it is just as simple as lining it up like that. However, don't forget to put the spring inside like I almost did. Alright. Make sure that the springs stay on the back side of this, you know, plastic line right here, this barrier. So I line it up that way. It will line up like that. You know, this hole connects into that peg. This guy up here, you know how it has like the 2 indents right here. Make sure the right side one is clipping in with the right side of the slide. Put your barrel back on if you so choose so. I do because, you know, aesthetics, cool points. And well, there we go. Should line up with this little like barrier right here. And well, it's just a matter of reassembling it, really. You could get it lined up, which you know, screws are a bit finicky here, as with any other dart blaster, since they have like designated like swivels that they enter through. Just making sure everything's all in place. But yeah, overall, dogs are at it again. But yeah, overall, that's the general idea here. You double coil the spring, remove the dart post and the AR prongs or barrel prongs, and well, there you go. That's all there is to this. And of course, it's just a matter of reassembly. And yeah, that should be about it. You know, you put it back together, you screw it back together, and it'll be a little powerful sniper pistol if you want to get into Nerf. You know, if you want something high powered, this would be it. Now, well, I might as well show you the range footage. As I said, it did well with flat shots, like aiming iron sights down and not giving it a serious arch or anything. It got good 55 to 65 foot ranges flat. It's good for those who want to begin. As I said, Talon Strike is ubiquitous at Raw stores right now for like $6.99, I believe, $7.99. And all you need to do is, you know, thrift or grab a rough cut spring from wherever you can, and there you go. You'll be able to do this mod. You'll have a powerful, reliable sidearm or primary if you're that type of guy who's like pistols only. And so yeah, with that being said, this video has gone on a bit long enough. It's the first time. I'll make these things more concise and shorter in the future so we can get straight to the point. This has been Spartan. I hope you guys enjoyed this first overview, like beginner's mod guide, or I guess overview since it's already been done. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and you might consider getting into nerfing if you haven't done so yet. It's simple things like this that will eventually lead off to, you know, flywheel overhauls, Springer upgrades, pump action kits, you name it, you know, you'd be able to do it in the future. But for now, taking small steps like this, you know, giving this guy a little power boost of double coil springs and, you know, better ammo use options, you know, it's simple things like that that start people off. That being said, that's how I started off, and I hope you guys have a good day.